Hello, everyone. My name is Oded Gilutz. I'm from the JDC ELKA. It's a social organization in Israel, and welcome to our panel. This session will discuss an innovative solution that we developed together with the Israeli government to overcome some of the most difficult obstacles that exist in providing funds to the towns and city of some of Israel's minority groups. So today what we'll do is we'll have a short introduction to the organization, to the JDC ELKA, and then we'll introduce the Mawared program, which we're going to discuss, and then have a Q&A with representative from the government and from the field, from the Mawared program itself. So we'll start by introducing the JDC ELKA. Thank you and welcome. And if you'll stay till the end, we're going to be here after this session to answer any questions if you have on the live chats.
We live in a system, inside a system, inside a system. When these systems work well, we don't notice they exist, but when they lag behind.
המערכת כמערכת לא מצליחה לנהל את זה כמו שצריך. כל הזמן במאבקים של בירוקרטיה.
هناك مشكلة جدية في البلاد في استنفاد الموارد والذي كان مجمدا لسنوات عديدة.
Making a system tick like a Swiss watch is a complex task. Citizens want to receive healthcare, they want to pay bills and taxes, they want to have schools built, they want to obtain services as swiftly as possible. Making citizens' lives simple is an intricate task. Our reality is complex and ever-changing. Our systems aren't keeping up with the speed of change. And this is where Joint ELKA comes into play. As part of the JDC, an organisation with a tradition of helping vulnerable populations for over 100 years, we at Joint ELKA understand the multi-layered Israeli society. We understand the perplexing maze of government and local authorities.
خلال فترة قصيرة ومن خلال المرافقة المهنية لطاقم إلكا جوينت استطعنا تحصيل ملايين الشواكل التي كانت عالقة بالمكاتب الحكومية المختلفة.
במקרים של בעיות חברתיות מורכבות שלא ניתנות לפתרון על ידי משרד אחד, ג'וינט אלקה מובילים ביחד עם גורמי המקצוע ומשרדי הממשלה השונים תהליכים להסרת החסמים וקידום פתרונות חדשניים.
בג'וינט אלקה אנחנו מבינים שטכנולוגיה ודיגיטציה הם המפתח ליכולת לספק שירותים יעילים ומועילים. לכן אנחנו עובדים עם המגזר הציבורי, משרדי ממשלה ורשויות, כדי לממש את הפוטנציאל הדיגיטלי שלהם.
We understand how to bridge the gap between intention and reality, to bring the right people and the best solution to the table and make our systems effective. With fast and flexible interventions, we create multi-sectoral task forces, untangle complex situations, and develop fast solutions. We live in systems, and ELKA's job is to make them effective.
Now that we've heard a little bit about the JDC ELKA, I would like to introduce Madam Salima Suleiman. She's the Senior Head of Municipal Department in the Authority for Economic Development of Minorities, that's in the Ministry of Social Equality, to present the program of Mawared, how it came to be and what it does. So Salima, please.
Well, the Mawared Initiative is a partnership between the Ministry of Social Equality, the Ministry of Interior, the Ministry of Finance, and the JDC ELKA, aimed to promote resource utilization and economic development at the Arab local authorities. The initiative was born to address challenges of both limited accessibility to government resources and also a low resource utilization. And for this purpose, the program is based on creating a new position in the Arab local authorities called Manager of Resource Utilization and Economic Development. And it's about integrating the work of the authorities. So these integrators are actually provided by the program with a holistic set of tools for including professional training, mentoring, and proper access to the government ministries.
Congratulations, everyone. A new baby is born. After a long period of joint efforts, a new position in the public sector has emerged in the world. The child is healthy, strong, and growing at a speedy pace. He even already has a name, Manager of Resource Utilization and Economic Development. Just born, but already great expectations and responsibility rest on his shoulders to increase the ability of municipalities to locate and utilize resources. But let's start from the beginning. How did this innovation begin? The government recognizes the significant gap between the quality of infrastructure and services available to the Arab minority in Israel and those available to most cities and towns. Therefore, a decision has been made to implement 5-year plans aimed towards a higher quality of life for residents in Arab communities through the economic integration of Arab society into the country's economy and towards reducing the social gap. Year plans in place, ongoing challenges in the implementation of the plans have hindered the progress in reducing the social economic gaps. Various studies indicate that funds provided by the government to the local authorities in Arab towns and cities are not utilized, or their implementation rates are low due to various technical, human capital, and language barriers. Even though the government is investing time and capital in reducing the gaps, small and medium local authorities lack manpower and knowledge in learning about and reaching out to government tenders and budgets. Therefore, it's crucial to assist the authorities themselves in utilizing the resources that can be available to them. The creation of the position Manager of Resource Utilization and Economic Development, named the Mawared Program, was made possible through a partnership between the Ministry of Social Equality, the Ministry of the Interior, the Treasury Budget Department, and JDC ELCA. The Manager of Resource Utilization is responsible to locate resources available to local government, while identifying obstacles and finding ways to overcome them, to improve work procedures at the municipal level, as well as the work interfaces with government ministries, and to do everything in his or her power to optimally implement government resolutions and to facilitate the utilization of resources in the Arab municipalities. Over the past few months, we've worked on recruiting talented people for the position. Out of thousands of candidates, 107 talented women and men have moved on to the final stage. The utilizers have undergone a long and intensive training program in which they fill gaps in local and central government, urban planning and economic development, and have already begun working within the authorities. We at Mawared Venture will continue to accompany them along the way with the goal of creating a network of knowledge solutions for resource extraction and economic development. Today, we are officially embarking on a new and exciting journey, which you are all necessary partners in securing its success. Local authorities, government ministries, civil society, philanthropy, and academia. This is a journey that begins with the utilization of resources and ends with the reduction of gaps and quality of life.
Excellent. Thank you very much. We have also with us here today, we have Netta Rosenfeld, who is the head of the department that runs the Mawared program at the JDC ELCA. And we have Aya Nusayr, if you could please introduce yourself as well. She's one of the utilizers, and if you can tell us a little bit from which municipality you come from and a little bit about your position.
I'm Aya Nassar, and I'm a municipal fund integrator in Mashhad, in the Galil of Israel. I'm a CPA.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we'll start this Q&A session, and we'll start with Netta and ask about the development of this program. This is a very interesting collaboration between the nonprofit world and the government, and I'd like to hear more about how this idea came to be and how it came to be realized and actualized.
Thank you. So, as Salima said, the Mawared Initiative started with the government resolution number 922, which allocated 15 billion shekels for Arab society, economic and social development in Israel. And history taught us that economically weak municipalities are not so successful in accessing government budgets. Out of 257 local municipalities in Israel, about 80 are Arab municipalities, and most of them are in the lowest social economic cluster. So the majority of Arab municipalities, which are more than 20% of all Israeli population, gets about 70 to 90 even % of their local budget from government and utilize it very minimally. Barriers include all kinds of reasons, but local professionalism is definitely one of the major reasons among them. So this is why it was clear that when big money is being allocated to the weakest municipalities, it is essential that we will help utilize it, all of us, we as the partnership with the government and JDC ELCA and local municipalities, to help utilize it by creating a municipal professional leader. So the ministries created and budgeted the role of the municipal funds integrator, and together with us, with Joint ELCA, we formulated the recruitment, training, and assimilation of the role in 44 out of the over 80 Arab municipalities in Israel. This
so
is
about half the Arab municipalities right now have one of these integrators.
Yes, and this is the Mawared Initiative. But to the second half of your question, you asked how it was developed, and maybe Salima can elaborate on that. But we started almost 2 years ago with the professional role. And since then, few things became very clear to us. First of all, the necessity of the municipal integrator. The government invested about 15 million shekels in this initiative up to date, and already the integrators brought new money to the local municipalities for over 300 million shekels. So the necessity is very clear. Since then, strong municipalities started to create their own role locally, asking us to help if we can in training them. A regional professional network is being formulated these days to enable the peers learning and to enhance the impact of the integrators. We also came to understand that it's not a one-man show. It's not enough. And the integrators are now being trained not only to be the experts of fund utilization in their own local authorities, but also to act as a bridge between local and central government, both on mechanisms and also perception gap that exists. And local level, the integrators act as a change agent for municipal organizational culture, diffusing their own know-how to all other staff members and department heads. All this training we formulate together with the government sits under a publicly accessed website, can be shared with everybody. And now we are looking forward to expand the initiative, the Mawared Initiative, to 58 municipalities. And And also in our vision, 5 years' time, looking forward, the Mawared Initiative will be nationally assimilated role and a professional network, and social economical gaps between municipalities and population will be minimized.
Thank you. Salima, I want to ask you, before I go and ask Aya about how does it work on the ground, I wanted to ask you from the government's point of view, what's the biggest benefit for you to have all these people in the local authorities? What's the biggest benefit that you get from this?
Well, I would say that the biggest challenge is government resolution implementation. Okay, we can formulate great programs and government resolution, but at the end, the local authorities should be able to implement these programs. And the benefit now that we already can see with the initial data, that there is a rise in the budget utilization of 922, specifically in the Mawared local authorities. So where the integrators are doing their jobs, we can see that there is an improvement in resource utilization. On the other hand, we also have a great team to learn from. We, as the government, need these inputs from the people that work inside the local authorities and give them the chance to be actually a part of the teams that work on formulating the new programs. We need these insights in order to be able to create better tools and better government programs.
Thank you. Thank you. So now let's look at it from the municipalities' point of view. Aya, if you can please give us a short sentence about the city or the town that you are in, that you work in, and if you can share a challenge or something that you found a big challenge when you entered this position or worked in it.
Okay, so one of the more complicated challenges I have in my role is bringing different departments to work together. Some of the issues we try to tackle deal with target population, which is being shared between departments, such as youth at risk, who needs intervention on pedagogic information, informal education, and family fields together. Since I'm in Mawared, I'm very clear on the potential value we can gain by sharing budgets, manpower, professional knowledge, and field infrastructure to give a more holistic response to the complicated issue. But I'm relatively new in the municipal system. We conception of lack of resource create a competition and not collaboration. So everyone needs to prove himself to the mayor, which will be replaced in the next elections. And new mayor will promote new people, so difficult to create a systematic change which takes time and needs organizational stability. Also, different departments work differently and reports to different ministries who have yet another different systems. One example for this is the fact that Ministry of Education works on a September-August budget, while local education department works on a January-December budget.
So can you give us an example of one thing that you did that was able to bring in more money into the city or something of that nature?
Yes, I will give an example of success in my role as a municipal funds integrator in internal roads. In my municipality, internal roads are in very bad shape, which limit residents' access to services and prone the accidents, so harms personal safety, and outsiders avoid doing shopping here. Dealing with physical infrastructure require big money, and economically weak municipalities like mine don't have it in their ongoing budget. So for years, no one did anything about the roads. Since I'm in Mawared, I know that the money is probably out there and the municipality doesn't know it. I searched everywhere and found $500,000 shekel in authorized budgets from year 2012 that were long past due. Thanks to Mawared, I didn't give up, knew exactly how to turn to the government and how. And indeed, Ministry of Interior renewed this budget. Over-allocated budget I found end up in 4 million shekels. It's about $1.2 million, and the project is now on its way. I will give you another example.
That's just that. That's about 5 million shekels that would not come to the city if you weren't there.
Yes. And another example is regarding professional and ethical work norms in my municipality. All local municipalities are bound by law to have a formal website which access transparently and all information to the public. In my municipality, the website did not meet these requirements, and we were sued. I saw this as an opportunity for me to elevate professionalism in my municipality by entering digital tools. Part of my role is in Mawared, so I rebuilt the entire website as transparent and accessible as possible, reflecting all municipal work and different departments in the municipality. Since the new website is on air, people use it as one-stop shop of a credible database. When youth department competed in a nation-best department, evaluators did their due diligence from the site, the website. Students take the required data from it and all remarks on its quality. I also established a digital archive, which is being used by municipal treasurer as pilot. So no lawsuits, paperless municipality information kept and easily retract for ongoing work.
Thank you very much. I would like Salima or Netta, if you have a kind of an overview. I just gave this one person out of 44 who, that's what they do. They work to bring in more funds and make sure that the municipalities always, are moving forward in these matters. And if you have any examples or things that you would like to share on kind of a broader level, what you see happening on the state level with the impact of this program.
Salima, I give you the honor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just answered that question. I can give specific examples, but I think that on the government level, actually, the different ministries are very glad to work with these integrators. They have a very similar language when they talk together. They are closer to the organizational culture, and they find it easy. Government representatives find it easy to work with the integrators, and vice versa. Also, the local authorities are sending the integrators to talk to the government, to allocate resources, to remove barriers. And we didn't actually have the opportunity to talk about that, but the issue of removing barriers with the very strong faith that they can succeed is very new and is very fresh. We didn't see it earlier in the local authorities that don't have enough faith to ask and to be actually more and more asking for more resources and more problem solving, and we're glad to be advancing the project and also actually advancing the perspective to include the whole ecosystem of the local authority. On the first stage, we were focusing on the integrators. We wanted to provide them with the training and the mentoring, and now we are actually enhancing the perspective to include the other executives in the local authority and to provide barrier solving mechanisms and so.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your partnership on this. And thank you, Aya, for sharing some of the experience from on the ground, and Neta for kind of helping us realize how this thing came to be and how broad of a spectrum this is. And this is one of the innovations that we're trying together with the government at the JDC ELCA to create, to nurture, and then basically to send it off to make sure that it becomes part of what a municipality is, this position. So thank you everyone for listening, who were here listening to this session. Some of us will be after this session in one of the rooms, and we will be happy to answer further questions if you have them. And have a great day.
Thank you.